You know, we had some good stuff going on. That's a good defense out there. You know, we feel like our defense is as good as what we're going to see next year, and we had some good things going. I was disappointed with a lot of drop balls and some communication. We had some checks that the receivers didn't catch, and we would have had some better plays. But what I liked about the offense today was when we had the short field, we got points out of it, and our defense is going to give us a short field a lot next year.
With Ellis Henderson, a guy that a couple years ago was one of the most dynamic receivers in the conference, last year was out. What have you seen from him in fall camp or spring ball, and then today that gives you the confidence he might be back to the all-conference level we saw a couple years ago?
Well, he's a big play guy, you know, and we need that. We need somebody that can bust the top off of a route and with the return game. That's going to be nice. You saw that today, what he can do, and we've worked very hard with the kickoff return. So it's nice to have him out there.
Coach, a running back battle. I know Logwood got the majority of the work today. Is he number one on the depth chart, or is that still open?
You know, him and John are both right there, and you need two. When you're running 90 to 100 plays a game, you can't have one running back. So they'll get pretty much equal reps. You know, even if one of them's the backup, they'll get almost as many reps as the other.
I want to ask you about Caleb Kidder, a kid from Capitol.
Yeah.
Here. He looks pretty good in there. Tell us about his play.
Hey, he disrupts things, you know, and he's made things pretty tough on our offensive line. He's a beast. I love him.
Coach, you said Brady Gustafson's kind of emerged as a guy. He didn't hurt his chances today, did he?
No, and Brady's really grasping it, and every rep he takes, he gets better. And he's got all summer now to rep it, and he's got all fall camp. He's going to continue to get better, and he did all throughout spring. He never took a step backwards.
Were there a couple times you noticed, he was kind of able to go through the progression, go through some reads, and make the decisions that you were looking for him to make?
Yeah, and he got us into some good stuff. He checked the one to Reese that we hadn't run all spring. And when they're checking things that you're not repping every single day and getting a chance to call them every single day, that's big time. He had that in the back of his mind, and I had talked about it a couple days ago that, hey, if we got man, I wanted him to check to that play, and he did. Got the touchdown. It was nice.
You know, I think Coach Stitt said it best. You know, I think we saw improvement from scrimmage to scrimmage, and that was really the big takeaway from today.
For Ellis, a guy who had a couple real big plays today, coming off the season where he didn't play, left school, what have you seen from him, and do you think Ellis is back to the Ellis that a lot of people saw a couple years ago?
Well, let me just first say it's really great to have Ellis back. I mean, he's a great guy and a big part of this football team, and he's a phenomenal athlete, and he's going to do some big things for us this year.
When we talked to Coach Stitt after the last scrimmage, he talked about how he wants to go into fall camp with you and another person kind of competing for those top two spots, but it's pretty clear you're the number one guy right now. What does his confidence in you do for you as a player, and how has that helped you progress?
I mean, overall, since middle school to high school, I've always felt I played best when the people around me have confidence in me. So I mean that's really big. That not only my peers, but some of the coaches are feeling confident.
What is it in your game that you felt you've kind of taken some steps forward with, especially today?
I would say that just like being able to check out of things. You know, in past offenses, I mean, it's kind of been offensive coordinators saying this is the play we're going to run and this is how we're going to do it. But I mean, with Coach Stitt's offense, he gives us sort of a jumping off point, so he says, and we really have the freedom to do that. So that's been a big part of, or a big change for me.
And I'm sure that's something nice now, really exciting. But was that scary at first to realize you had that much?
I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's almost like you're playing Madden, like you can hot route, like you just have kind of full responsibility back there.
Are you pretty used to that pace by now, just getting up into the line and doing
you know, you kind of have to push it a little bit. I mean, Coach Stitt usually gets the plays in pretty quick, and I know at Mines, the quarterback there, the guys would be running with the ball, and he'd be calling the play, trying to get the next play going. So it is kind of hard to get used to, but you just got to push it sometimes.
What do you think of Ellis's return?
He put some good moves on. He's quite the football player.
It's good. I mean, some of the guys haven't started, but we have a lot of experience on the D-line. I know we're pretty confident in ourselves, I guess. So, I don't know. I feel like even though we haven't had a lot of starting experience, a lot of the guys on the defensive line do have playing experience. So I think it's something that'll help us out.
You mentioned that the offense getting a little more comfortable. You guys are still getting in there, getting some sacks, getting some turnovers every scrimmage. You guys are just kind of right where you've always been.
Yeah, I think the defense. I think we're right where we want to be. I mean, we're pretty stingy, so every time they score, I think we're not too happy about it. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty good day.
How is the mindset going forward when you get amped up, you have a final scrimmage like this, and then you go kind of dormant for a while aside from some individual stuff in weight training? So what's the mindset going forward from such a high that you probably want to keep going until that first game against North Dakota?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a weird deal, you know. It's kind of like its own season right now. So it's kind of now it's a good and bad because now we're done playing football. We put the pads up for a while, but now we can really focus on getting stronger, getting bigger. Especially for the young guys, it's going to be a huge off season in the weight room to get bigger and stronger. So